Jason Momoa stars in DCEU's 6th cinematic movie and the first Aquaman movie to be on the big screen, so let's talk about it. Arthur Curry learns that he's the rightful heir to the throne of the underwater world Atlantis. He must stop his half-brother from executing an attack on the land above and be the hero that Atlantis needs. Hey everybody, my name is Justin and I love to watch movies, and if you guys do too, make sure you hit that subscribe button down below and that bell notification so you guys don't miss any of my up and coming videos, and comment down below with your thoughts on this new Aquaman movie. We're going to talk about the good, the bad, and at the end I'm going to give you the score for this new movie. I was hesitant about Aquaman, but still a little bit excited for it. I like Jason Momoa's take on this classic character. I thought Justice League was a bit of a disappointment. DC has to be a little bit inconsistent with their movies, but I was still hopeful that this would be kind of like Wonder Woman, where I thought this was really good, and I thought Aquaman was a blast. By far their funniest movie and by far their most thrilling adventure film. This is almost like an Indiana Jones kind of movie where Mira and Aquaman have to go on this adventure to find a lost trident, and they're searching through different parts, even the Sahara, to find this lost trident, and it kind of just feels like an Indiana Jones adventure movie, and part of it is like a rom-com as well, so they do mix these different genres into this movie, and it definitely does work. Definitely the best thing about this movie is Jason Momoa as Aquaman. He is hilarious. In the beginning of this movie, they already know who Aquaman is. People want to take selfies with him. He's on the TV. I heard that this movie takes place after Justice League, and I just really like his presence. He's an easygoing guy. He's not your typical superhero. He speaks his mind, just says it how it is, just kind of has fun with things. And I love his take in this movie. It's a blast to watch him. He just has a lot of fun in his role. And I like the journey from Arthur Curry, not really knowing who his mother is and kind of dealing with that, and then learning the fact that he has a half-brother and then he's the rightful heir to Atlantis, and not believing that, and he's got to prove himself to be a hero. And I love the take for the character because at times you think that he's so strong and buff and that he can handle anything, and at times he really does, but this movie's not afraid to make this character vulnerable. They're not afraid to show the emotional side to this character. At times he doesn't believe that he can be the hero that Atlantis needs, and I like exploring that deeper side to this character, because a lot of times superhero movies, they're just one note and they don't explore like the character deep within them. This movie's not afraid to be emotional and, you know, dig deep into this character, and I love that about this because it adds depth to this character and make me really appreciate what they did with Aquaman. There's a lot of cool things in this movie as well. The visuals are stunning. I really love the underwater sequences, the big, epic, grand battles that are happening in this movie. There are so many cool different sea creatures with battle armor, and they're attacking each other. It's really fun to watch, and the visuals are stunning in this movie, and the CGI works really well with a lot of those underwater sequences. Even the scenes on land are awesome to watch as well. James Wan directs this movie, and he's mostly known for some horror films like the Insidious movies and Conjuring, but he also directed Furious 7, and I think that this is probably one of the best action movies from DCEU because how James Wan directs it. I heard he loves to direct long takes, and there are so many long takes, especially a really well filmed action scene between Aquaman, Mira, and Black Manta. How they film it, just long takes, following the characters, moving along. On top of these buildings are just running along, and the way that he films and handles it, it really puts you into the moment. It's adrenaline pumping, it's intense, not one of those quickly edited kind of action films. James Wan knows how to direct an action scene. He knows how to create a really suspenseful horror film, and he also knows how to create a very well filmed action movie. So I was really happy with how these action scenes are filmed. The supporting cast is great as well. We have Amber Heard as Mira. She's not your damsel in distress side character. She handled her own. She did really great. We have Dolph Lundgren with his beautiful locks. It's amazing. And they have Nicole Kidman. I was a little bit worried with being Aquaman's mom, but I really liked her character as well. very brief but integral to the story. And I really like the villain as well. They set up the villain really well in the beginning, Black Manta, and he doesn't want to destroy the world. He just wants revenge on Aquaman. And I really like how they set this character up. Very different from other villains and how other villains are set up just like this. So there's a lot of things to love about Aquaman. I think that it's hilarious, and I think that the action's filmed very well. The visuals are stunning, and I like the villains in here. There are a few issues though with this movie, I will admit. Some of the dialogue is very cheesy, especially between Mera and Aquaman. They do get a little bit corny towards the second half of the movie when they feel comfortable with each other and they're going on this adventure to find the lost trident. It is a little bit cheesy, I will admit. They're talking a lot about being a hero and being true to yourself and understanding what it takes to be that hero. And they're also talking about love and stuff. It just gets very corny. And another issue for me is the villain, Black Manta. He's like the secondary villain, and I really like the setup for him. And I like a really well-filmed action scene that he's in towards the second half of the movie. But between all of that, they kind of lose the character's interest for me, and he kind of just dies out towards the second half of the movie. They introduce him really well in the beginning, and then just kind of falls apart, and then it kind of dies off after that. Then we see him again, and then that's about it afterwards. I really like to see a little more of him because I thought he was a really cool character, but they didn't really explore him too well. Like I said, he's the secondary villain. Aquaman has to stop his half-brother from starting a war above land. So we spent a little more time with him rather than Black Manta. But that's just a minor issue, and the dialogue is a little bit cheesy. But overall, I thought this was a really great film. Before I give you my final score on this movie, make sure to check out my 2018 movie reviews playlist up above. Find all different kind of movie reviews I've done throughout the year and all the different comic book movies that I've reviewed. So overall, Aquaman was a pleasant surprise. I love this movie. It's so fun. It's a blast. It's hilarious. Great visuals. Great acting from Jason Momoa. I thought they handled the character very well. The dialogue is a little bit cheesy, and the villain, Black Manta, isn't explored as well as I wanted him to. But overall, it is a great film. I'm going to go ahead and give Aquaman an A-. Stay tuned the next couple of days. I got a ranking for all the DC movies, and I'll be ranking all of the comic book movies as well. In the meantime, check out my other comic book movie that I just reviewed, Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse. Really fun. That comes out this weekend. Check out the review here. My name is JustinWatchesMovies, and you guys stay classy, YouTube.